what is going to happen in California's housing market. Is California headed for a housing crash? Is this sustainable? Hey, it's Jerimiah Taylor, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the California housing market. You see, there's been a ton of media around this housing crash in California, and historically, California has one of the most volatile real estate markets in the country. The highs are high, and the lows, well, they're still kind of high, honestly, but it's a little bit more volatile than the rest of the country. And so in early 2024, I think a lot of people are wondering, like, what's going on with California housing? In fact, it's April 3rd today, and I just saw an article this morning where Rep. Schiff, Adam Schiff, he's in politics, and he has proposed this new bill called the Affordable Housing Conversion Act, where I think they're putting up something like $1.25 billion to convert underutilized or unused government buildings into effectively public housing or low-priced rental housing. It's kind of a symptom of California's housing market. It has gotten so expensive to live in California that the median wage or average household wage that you would need to live in most parts of coastal California is north of $100,000, $120,000 a year if you're going to be buying the average home. In fact, I was looking at some stats on the San Diego market a little bit earlier today, and it blew my mind. The average, now this is condos, townhomes, single family residences, everything. The average home in San Diego County at the end of February 2024 was $1.202 million. In fact, $1,202,650 at the end of February, which is wild because at this time last year, right, we were grappling with these interest rates that had just gone from like 3 to 7. People were freaking out. We thought the housing bubble was bursting. Well, last February in San Diego, that same house was $988,974. What? Really? The average sales price in San Diego is up 21% in the same year that interest rates have gone from 3 to 5 to 7? It's wild. This is, California is a really, really unique thing. And really, it's a scarcity of land thing in most places in California. So let's go back to San Diego and let's think about it. Now, not everybody's been to San Diego. I lived there for 10 years, so I know it pretty well. But to the south of San Diego, you have Mexico. To the east of San Diego, you have a mountain range, and then it goes to Alpine to Campo, etc. But like kind of traversing that mountain range makes Alpine about as livable as far east as you can go in San Diego. Well, then north of San Diego, you have Camp Pendleton. So you've got a military base. And then west of San Diego, you have the Pacific Ocean. So it's very much constrained. You can't have the sprawl that you would have in a Phoenix, Arizona, or a Denver, Colorado even, right? These kind of geographically flat markets. Maybe Denver wasn't the best example there, but Phoenix, for sure, tons of sprawl, right? Texas, tons of sprawl. And that helps kind of regulate home prices, where in some of these coastal cities, New York, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, because they are geographically constrained, the construction starts to go vertical. You see politicians come up with ideas like this where they're going to build affordable housing by converting commercial spaces, etc. And really, it puts a lot of pressure on the cost of living. Now, here's what's interesting. There's still a lot of wage growth, even though rates have continued to trend up. When you look at a thing called the affordability index, and it just goes to tell you like kind of what percentage of the median household income do you have to make above that to buy the average house in the market. So rather than actually digging into that index, let's just look at year over year change, right? Because we know interest rates are higher than they were. I just told you prices are like 21, almost 22% higher than they were. Affordability has actually gone down only by 16.7%. So what that means is that wages and wage growth has outpaced home price growth in San Diego and most parts of California. And so at the end of the day, yeah, homes are super expensive in most of California. In fact, I was looking at another stat from the National Association of Realtors. In the West region, which is kind of everything like Arizona to California, Nevada, etc., like something like 40% home sales growth in homes over $1 million. There's 40% more $1 million homes selling in February of 2024 than in February of 2023. It's just wild when you think about that happening on the back of what interest rates have done. And so I think it just begs this question of like, is this sustainable? Is California headed for a housing crash? And you know what? I'll tell you, when I was in California 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018, I was one of those people saying like, oh, it's coming. Like how much prices can't get any higher than this. Look how low inventory is. Look what rates are doing. Folks, I got news for you. Like inventory's up slightly in San Diego, not a ton. When you look at active inventory and homes for sale right now in San Diego County, there's about 2,663 homes. That's down 1% from 2690 this time last year. Granted, demand is down also a little bit. Like pending sales, you went from about 1800 last year to 1900 this year. That's good. That actually means it's picking up from a demand perspective. Closings are up slightly, but when you look at the total month supply of inventory, you got about a month and a half worth of inventory in San Diego, and that's true for most of California. It is still a place that tons and tons of people want to live. So if you're asking yourself the question, what is going to happen in California's housing market? The answer is it's probably going to be more of the same. As long as wages continue to grow, its businesses continue to move there, which high-tech businesses, high-wage businesses continue to move there, you're probably going to continue to see home price growth. Now, if you get a little bit of a reprieve in interest rates, guess what? Could accelerate that. So I know it's wild to think that year over year we saw a 21% gain in the average home price in a coastal city in California, but it could happen again.